let's jump into a quick training on how to share your sizzling story. So before inviting your prospect to a specific action that you want them to take, it can be incredibly valuable to engage them by wanting to learn more. You create curiosity and maybe get them nodding their head before you even share the facts or a link with them about what could be a solution or something exciting for them, right? By using what we call a 5-point story formula. It hits on the psychological aspects of what makes an intuitive and engaging story. And truly, when you can master like 1 to 3 sentences on each of these items, practice it so it's fluid and really conversational and conveys feelings, it can become gold. If you are not familiar with this, top leaders in our company and in business in general are masterful storytellers. And the easiest and most impactful story for you to be able to master is your own. The real truth is people don't care about what you know until they know that you care. You may think that you struggle with the invite, but with what you might be really struggling with is making a connection with people before you invite them to take a next step to learn about our products and biohacking movement or about our opportunity. So what we're going to do is walk through, because it's the connection you make before you invite someone that makes the difference. I truly believe this is even more important online than it is in person because people can't see your body language. Now, depending on how techy you want your online workflow to be, it may be that you take this framework and then record it and upload it to YouTube or save it as a video on your phone. Like, depending how techy you want to be, this could just be something that you practice over and over and over while you're driving around town, so that when someone asks, what is it that you're doing, or tell me more about your business, you can lead with your story and then invite them to a tool that they can look at. So we're going to talk about these as powerful points, okay? The 5 steps or the 5 powerful points that you want to share. Well, each of these, I'm going to give just a brief overview and then an example of my story and how being really authentic in this can make a huge difference. So the powerful point number 1 is who you are and what your background is. Now, you had a life before your LifeVantage business, and you want to help people get to know you. This is true even if it's someone who you know through the community or you know online or you know in person. Like this, just taking a hot second to ground people. This is not a resume. You don't want to be like, well, back when I was 13, I knew I wanted to become an entrepreneur. You really need to keep this simple and short. The focus is honestly to give the prospect that you're talking to some relation point that they can understand. They may not know the term direct sales or network marketing if you just lead with that. Even if you are full-time in network marketing at some point, I recommend giving some context that people can understand. So what that would look like for me as a quick example is I could say, you know, my background is as a startup lawyer, and I've also been involved in some like business launches. Okay, super simple. It could be, you know, I run a wellness center. I'm a massage therapist. I was in corporate, but have been a stay-at-home mom for the last 5 years. I'm a Pilates teacher and a yoga instructor, right? So for me, it is true that my background is as a startup lawyer, and I've been involved with several business launches. So that is how I would share powerful point number 1. Powerful point number 2, this is a biggie. Powerful point number 2 is your pain point or why you were open, why you were unhappy. This is where you can really create a connection with someone by being real and genuine. You know, if you were struggling with your health, and that's a part of why you started to learn about LifeVantage and biohacking. If you were fed up not making enough money in your job, you could share that. If you were looking for a positive community to be a part of, this is where you can share that. So you really want to think about the frustration that you were experiencing that you felt that LifeVantage could help solve for you when you got involved. Now, you don't want to get too much into the solution or use the word LifeVantage or per tandem here. The product or the income that may have been exciting as a potential solution, it's not where we're at right now. If you can really master this point, it's the difference between someone feeling like you're pitching them and someone honestly understanding that you're sharing your story and seeing if they have anything in common. Honestly, this is the point that most people struggle with the most because it forces you to really think and be a little bit vulnerable and open. And without sharing your life story, you certainly don't want this to be a 20-minute diatribe. You want it to be concise. The verbiage that I use, if this resonates with you at all, is that I focus on dropping from my head to my heart and realizing that even though it's my story, it's not really about me, and your story is not really about you. It's about, is the person that you're talking to able to relate in any way? This is about the problem you are facing and starting to paint the vision of hope. Again, don't mention the products or opportunity just yet here. That's kind of jumping the gun. But you can share which was a bigger pain point for you, which would be probably either your health or financial struggles. Now, a great transition phrase once you share why you were open is, how to transition into it is, what you may not know is. You can try this on for size. So for example, I could say my background was as a startup lawyer and I was involved in several business launches. But what you may not know is that I used to really struggle with anxiety and health issues when I was working the long hours as a lawyer. That would be a pain point that I could share, especially if I'm talking to someone more from the product standpoint. Okay, so for example, I'm just going to rattle off a couple examples. Maybe you could say what you may not know is, I love the work that I do, but there's nowhere for me to advance in my career. I'm tired of only getting like small bonuses or end of year raises. That could be authentic for you. I don't know. You could say what you may not know is, this was me. I was struggling with anxiety, weight gain, and stress, and was trying anything that I thought could help me. It could be, for example, what you may not know is, I was tired of seeing people in my community unable to get ahead. And I wanted to have a way we could rise up together, maybe more frustration of wanting to make an impact, right? So that would be some examples of powerful point number 2. Powerful point number 3 is who shared LifeVantage with you. This is where it pays to really compliment or share some credibility about your sponsor. You want to keep it short, to the point, to paint the picture that real people with integrity are involved in your team. When you're sharing your story, people are asking 2 questions. Is this real? And can I do this? Painting the picture and humanizing the story with real names and how you knew the person helps them to have some grounded context. What kind of respect did you have for the person that shared this with you? Even if they were a cold contact, like how did you come to trust them? Maybe you met them in a Facebook group. That's super cool. Why did you decide to jump in with your sponsor into this journey? So for example, this is my truth. My sister owns a wellness center in Maine, and she brought some information to me on a natural product that she thought could help with my health struggles. Another example could be, my friend from college, who's always been a hard worker and well-respected, reached out to me about a way we could work together part-time. Or maybe a successful businessman in my community reached out to me to ask if I was looking for a way to earn more and better my life. So really just sit down and jot down, all of those were one sentence. Who was the person, and how or why did the information get put in front of you? Powerful point number 4 is why you're excited about the future. Whether you're most excited about the health benefits you've experienced, the income that you're earning, maybe just the opportunity to be mentored by people with success and integrity, or the opportunity that you have for growth. Whatever it is, be excited. You want to choose just a couple bullet points of what you love most about LifeVantage without diving into the science or overwhelming people with facts. Most people these days need hope and a little bit of excitement for themselves. You can offer that by leading with what you are truly excited about. There's no wrong answer. And if you can actually tie this back to powerful point number 2, it becomes even more powerful as a solution that you found, or even a potential solution if you're brand new. So for example, I could share from my story that a few weeks into using the product my sister shared with me, I was sleeping better, experiencing less anxiety, and feeling so much hope for my health improving. It could be, here's a couple other examples. Maybe as I learned more about the company that was shared with me, I saw amazing potential for finally getting myself out of the rat race. Or maybe I've been, receiving mentoring from successful entrepreneurs I've teamed up with, and I'm super excited about where the future will take us. Whatever you're genuinely most excited about, just talk about that for a sentence or 2, because people are going to remember how you made them feel and your excitement. I have had so many people say, I don't even know what you're talking about, but you just seem super excited. So yes, I'll take a look. That is an okay way to get people involved. Powerful point number 5 is where you share your vision. And this is where things might change, especially as you get to larger events like LifeVantage Academy or Super Saturdays or Elite Academy, as you're exposed to more and more about the company, about the products, about the science, your vision is going to grow, I guarantee it. So what is your vision? Is it about creating a movement of biohackers and empowering people about their health? Like, is that why you're involved in this long term? Is it about helping people in your community to raise themselves up financially? Is it about growing your business to a level where you can quit your job, be home with the kids, or do charity work? Have fun here, be authentic, and be bold to share a glimmer into what you truly want to achieve by making an impact growing a LifeVantage business. You can focus on your excitement to build a tribe here. You can focus on how to stand out from all the other wannabe entrepreneurs giving lame visions of their business. Like, really sit down and journal. This can tie into your why. It can tie into like that deep, dark secret of why you signed up that maybe you haven't told anybody yet. That's actually the most exciting thing that you can share here. Don't play small. That deep down vision for your life and success is actually what's going to engage the right people to want to do this with you, either from a product standpoint or on your team. Sharing that is how you will know if you're on the same vibe as the person you're sharing it with. And when you are, the rest of inviting is so much easier. I love getting a question like this after I share my vision. I love when people are like, wait, you really think that's possible? Right? So think about this. If you've ever heard Sarah Smith, I'm just going to recap things that I've heard her say. She'll say things like, we are launching a patent protected product line that can shift the evolution of health. Have you ever heard her say that? It's powerful, right? That is her vision, baby. Part of my vision is that as I grow my business, I actually want to become an angel investor in women-owned businesses to give women-owned companies a leg up. There's so many people in this team. If you're not really connected to or familiar with the upline support team members that you have access to, I think it's a really cool thing to call your team members and say, what is your vision, right? Why are you doing this? Because as you hear other people's visions, especially if they've been involved longer than you and their vision has grown even bigger than yours has, this can be a really great way to get to know people and grow your vision. So once you share your story, you want to find a closing question that works for you. I love asking this. Does anything I shared resonate with you? Because if they say, oh, I love your story, I just don't have anything in common with you. If the answer is no, or they're squirmy, right? You didn't do anything wrong. Then you can ask for a referral. Instead, if they are saying like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, how did the products help you? Or, how are you going to achieve that? Or do you really think that's possible? Those are really fun questions. And then you can start getting right back into the scripts and workflow guide and leading in with an if I would you. So don't play small just to fit into everyone's box. Find others that want to play with you. Find other biohackers. Find other like-minded entrepreneurs, and you can go have fun by sharing your sizzling story. So I hope that this has been helpful. Would highly encourage you to write down the 5 points, to map out, like maybe write down a point and leave, a couple inches for you to brainstorm or journal or write, and do that for each of the 5 points. Practice them out loud in your own voice. Maybe even do like a little video clip or an audio clip to your sponsor and ask for feedback. Spending a little bit of time working on this story will go a long way because it will help you to stand out, help you to become a better communicator. And then when you're inviting people to look at a link, when you're inviting people to join a webinar, when you're inviting people to do whatever you want in the next step in your online workflow, they're going to be so much more excited, engaged, and feel like they're a part of something instead of just having a link thrown at them. I hope that makes sense. And I can't wait to hear how this works for you in your own online workflow. Thanks, guys.